So in today's session, we're going to look at bursaries. So in the previous lecture, we were able to look at services and service subscription. So what are bursaries? As it sounds, bursaries are giving free education or discounted education to student, or discounted amount to student, being sponsored either by a certain program or by school or by anything. So this system enables you to offer bursaries to students. So how is it done? So bursary is categorized into two. You have, has two items. One is the bursary scheme. Bursary scheme is a program of a bursary, and another one is a bursary beneficiary. So these are beneficiaries from a certain program of bursary. So the first thing is to first set the bursary schemes that are at school. So how do you set these bursary schemes? You just simply come here to bursary schemes, and then you can add different bursary schemes. For example, you have orphan children, maybe children of directors, maybe children of teachers, maybe best performers, maybe etc. You can think about bursaries, maybe OBs of a certain school, something like that. You can think of bursaries that you have at school, and then you add them in the system. Those schemes, bursary schemes, adding them into the system. Then after, you add the beneficiaries. So to add a scheme in the system, just simply come to bursary scheme and then click new. Let's say that you want to add the bursary scheme of best performers. All right, so maybe if best performers, give them a certain amount of money. So I just simply come and click on new. So when I click on new, the system will bring me a section where I can put the bursary name. So I can put here maybe best performers. All right, so I go ahead and put the amount that the beneficiary will get. So maybe all best performers, we give them 500,000, or maybe 400,000. 400,000. So if your best performer, we just make a beneficiary to this, maybe the first three in a class, or all the first in class, or maybe anything you can think about. I say this will be a one-time offer. So if you say termly offer, this one will multiply it by 3 times when you add a beneficiary there. So better make a termly offer. So every term you see if this student is still qualified for this bursary or not. I can say maybe awarded to first students in class, right? Maybe you can say awarded to first up to third students in class. Or you can put maybe sports bursaries awarded to sports players, etc. So after adding their bursaries, you can see here the number of beneficiaries of that bursary in this particular term. So now let's go ahead and add a bursary beneficiary on the student. So if a student is a bursary beneficiary, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't bill that student. Bill that student normally, then add him on the bursary, so the bursary can reduce on the other money. So you can be able to account for everything. Being on bursary doesn't mean that we have forgiven you the money. It means that we have billed you. We're going to buy for you food. You're going to use our expenses. We have billed you, but we have paid for you this amount. So you have to first bill a student, bill them everything, then you pay for them by making them subscribers. All right, so let's say that this student want to add him on best performers. This student want to add him on best performer. So I'll just simply come into bursary beneficiaries. So remember, I've added all our programs here. Just simply come to bursary beneficiary, click on new, and then click on enter the student name, for example this student, and enter the bursary, select the bursary of the student. So I can say maybe the best performer. I can put maybe this student was the first in P3 third term 2020, whatever. That's why it's being. So you put here a narration why this bursary is being added to this student. So I'll submit. So once I add a bursary to this student, the system, it generates a transaction worth this amount and adds it to the student as a bursary payment. I mean, as a bursary money entering in. So if I come here to this student's account and I refresh, this student was owing us 1 million. You can see it has reduced to 600, and you can see here the narration, the most latest transaction, which narrates the bursary funds of 400 were deposited to this account. Reason, best performer scheme, or best performer bursary scheme. So you can see it here. So the narration will be very clear and everything will be accountable. You cannot say that we failed to know where the money came from. The money is very clear and is very accountable. Okay? Hope you understand. Hope you understand. So we can add more bursary beneficiaries and the money will be deducted on their what? On their respective accounts. Hope you've understood that. So that is the bursary module, and that is the bursary scheme module. Yep. So I hope you've understood. Let me come back again here. So we have bursary and bursary scheme. Bursary scheme is the program, and then bursary beneficiary is the person who earns from that program. So if you want to see that, you can have your shortcut, you have your filters. If you want to see people who are benefiting from a specific bursary, you can play with these filters. If you click here, it will take you directly to that the account of that particular student, right? And you can be able to see their details. All right, so let's look at term balancing. So term balancing, it helps you to transition from one term to the other. So if the term is beginning, you can transition from one term to the other to do contra entry. So you can have the transactions from this term which are closing being forwarded to the other term. So just simply select, maybe you're closing from term 1 and you're going to term 2, and then we say we want to process all students or only active student, and then says process school fees. So here the system, it does a contra entry. It closes the account of the previous class, of the previous term, and say that maybe Muhindo has ended while we owe him negative 500. It creates a positive transaction, and then at the same time it creates a negative transaction for the next term, showing that Muhindo has come with this particular amount. So they balance like that. So when you go to the new term, you're able to know which student came with which particular amount of money. So that is the contra entry. You do it only one time when the term is beginning. So you can try it when the term begins, and see how that contra entry works. So here, school fees payment, we have school pay transactions. So school pay transaction, when they come, they first land here. You'll see them here, and then after they have come, you can go ahead and import them by clicking, so they should not contradict with what you've done, and the system will show whether it has been imported or not. This is when you have linked your system with the school pay. What else? School fees billing, we have already looked at that. School fees demands, we've already looked at that. School fee transaction, we've already looked at that. Service subscription, we have looked at that. Batch service subscription, we've looked at it. Services, we have looked at them. And then service category, we've looked at them. Bursary schemes, we have looked at them. Bursary beneficiaries, we have covered. School fees termly balance, we have covered. If you have any question, please feel free to contact us, and we shall be able to do what? To help you. But in simple terms, those are the steps that you take to get on board with the system. And I've shown you how you generate everything. So if I come back and I click on this term report, it will go ahead and update it accordingly. It will go ahead and update it accordingly. It will show the bursary, it will show the expected income, total bursary offers, etc. It will go ahead and show you these summaries accordingly. All right, so I hope you've understood that. Let us meet in the next lecture. In the next training video. I'm a lecturer. Let's meet in the next training video. We're going to go deep in understanding this system. Please don't miss.